It sounds so fun out there. So much fun talking, but our meeting is now reconvened to open session. The board would like to remind the public that this meeting is being audio and video recorded and is also available via live stream. The live stream link can be found on the RUSD website. Trustee Hupp, would you please report out action taken in closed session?
Yes. In closed session, the board voted to release one classified employee from their position pursuant to Education Code 45113. The vote was unanimous.
Thank you so much. Okay, tonight we have Lucas Marcourt. We're so excited to have you from Whitney High School. Welcome as our new student board representative. Lucas, will you please introduce the color guard and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Presented are the colors of Rocklin Unified School District Junior ROTC Color Guard and the Pledge of Allegiance. The commander and U.S. flag bearer for this evening's color guard is Cadet Captain Sylvia Bullcoulter. The state flag is carried by Cadet Major Aiden Foster. The right guard is Cadet Master Sergeant Madison Card. The left guard is Cadet Colonel Bailey Newman. The alternates for tonight are Cadet First Lieutenant Michael Matthews. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much to our ROTC for the great job that they do. Now move to item 5.1, our special recognition and presentation portion of the meeting. Chief Dosage, will you please introduce our family partners in education recognition?
Good evening, President Price, trustees, and Superintendent Stock. The Family Partners in Education program allows the Rocklin Unified School District to recognize family engagement and involvement to help our students achieve excellence during the school year. Rock Creek Elementary's Bevan Glover is introducing the McCoy family for tonight's Family Partners in Education recognition.
Good evening, Superintendent Stock, Board of Trustees. I'd like to invite the McCoy family up. I'm not sure if I've ever met a family that didn't love spending time and pouring their hearts into Rock Creek more than the McCoy family. In fact, at one point last year, we had Baylor, Matt and Heather, and Matt's mom, Colleen, supporting us. It is a multi-generational dedication. They have been connected to our school for more than 20 years, 22 years. You might recognize Heather, lovingly referred to as Mrs. McCoy. She's one of our beloved former second grade teachers, but she continues to dedicate her time to RUSD as the new child development teacher at Whitney High. The McCoys have entrusted us with their 3 fantastic children, 2 who are grown, and Baylor, who now attends Springview Middle School. Even though Heather has changed schools and Baylor is in middle school, they continue to show up and volunteer at Rock Creek. It's amazing. They can't quite let us go, and we're not complaining about it either. Matt continues to serve as our PTC president, hosting dance parties on the Blacktop. I hear TK is his favorite place to do a dance party, helping our school complete projects across campus, like the new digital marquee we have, and then delivering coffees and lunch to our dedicated staff. Over the course of my working with Heather, I've watched her step up not only as a staff member, but also as a parent community member, volunteering at events, running a ukulele club after school, pranking staff in the best of spirit, and both Heather and Matt are known for going above and beyond for our students in need in the most humble of spirit. Rock Creek is truly blessed to have such an amazing family who continues to show up for our school, and we're so grateful for all they have done for all of our Red Hawks, both big and small. Thank you so much, McCoys.
So, here he goes. Hang on to that first. So, again, the McCoy family, these are the consummate volunteers. So whether you need a volunteer, request a volunteer, or in deep need of I don't know what's going on, the McCoys show up, the McCoys activate, the McCoys get involved, and things happen. So again, as it's said multiple times, one of the great families that make Rocklin a great place to raise your kids, a great place to go to schools. Kids, family, not only does he volunteer, he gets his kids involved, they volunteer, voluntold, and there. So thank you for everything you guys do. Thank you for making Rocklin a great place. Thank you for taking care of all the schools, and thank you for staying in our RUST family. Here you go.
Thank you so much, McCoy family. Chief Dosanjh, will you please introduce our employee recognition tonight?
President Price, trustees, and Superintendent Stock. Tonight for our employee recognition, Cobblestone Elementary School Principal Kathy Goddard will join us in introducing Sue Bliss.
This is such a great thing. Board members, Superintendent Stock, I've been looking forward to it all day because the person we're going to honor is just a very, very special individual. So tonight we are recognizing Sue Bliss, a dedicated special education instructional aide whose 15 years of service at Cobblestone, actually it's more than that, 17, right, Sue? Come on up, okay. Correct me if I all right. Has made a tremendous impact on our students, staff, and school community. Sue is very unassuming, so this is like, she doesn't like a lot of attention drawn to herself. She's known for her patient, calm, and steady approach. She works closely with students who struggle, providing small group instruction and push-in classroom support that builds both skills and confidence. Her ability to meet students where they are encourages them to keep trying as she celebrates their successes along the way. They really feel supported by you. Beyond her daily work in classrooms, Sue runs a Crazy 8 math club. You've done that for how many years? 8 or 9 years. Where kids experience fun, hands-on learning experiences in math. Who wouldn't enjoy fractions when cake is involved? I got a picture last spring of cake and fractions in the multipurpose room and a lot of smiling kids. Her creativity and enthusiasm inspire students to see math in a new light and look forward to learning. Sue's flexibility and willingness to help wherever she's needed make her an invaluable part of our school. Whether she's lending a hand in the office, putting together all those student information binders just recently, keeping our lost and found from taking over the multipurpose room, or making sure our safety vests are clean and ready, Sue steps in without hesitation. Those are just all things within the last month that Sue was like, just doing because they needed to be done, and she wanted to make everything nice. These behind-the-scenes contributions may go unnoticed by some, but they make a big difference in keeping our school running smoothly. Loved by students, respected by colleagues, and appreciated by families, Sue embodies the spirit of teamwork and dedication. Her many years of service have left a lasting mark on our school, and we are proud to honor her for her exceptional and ongoing contributions.
It sounds like you may not like the spotlight, but it sounds like you deserve it. So Thank you for all that you do on behalf of the board. You know, I love an employee that sees a need and does it, even if it's not in their job description. It sounds like you do that a lot, and so thank you so much. The patience, the calm, the flexibility. Thank you. We appreciate you. This is for you. All right, we want to thank all of you for joining us. You're welcome to stay for the whole night if you'd like, but you're also welcome to go. We know you have busy lives, and this is a great time. Thank you so much for coming and supporting those employees and families. Okay, we will next move to item 6.2 and welcome our CSEA President, Bettina Hart, to present the CSEA report.
Well, as you can see how amazing CSEA employees are with Sue Bliss and what she has done as a special education aide. I'm proud to have her as part of one of our members, and as you can see how important we are as an asset to the district, especially with Kathy recognizing her and such. So please remember that. So congratulations to her. So good evening. President Price, members of the board, Superintendent Stock, and cabinet. I am excited to be standing up here tonight as we kick off the school year. This is going to be a little bit long. I had reached out to all of our directors asking them for an update on what everyone had done over the summer, and I got some amazing feedback from transportation, technology, nutrition services, and of course M&L. So bear with me. So tonight, I want to talk about a group of unsung heroes who have been working tirelessly all summer to prepare for our students' return. Those unsung heroes are our transportation, our technology, nutrition services, and our maintenance and operation employees. While many were enjoying the summer, our transportation team was hard at work. From June 11th to July 17th, they had 10 routes running daily, with drivers on the road from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And making sure the students would get to ESY, to summer school, and also to ELOP. Thanks to the dedication of their router and CSEA member, Jody Raskin, this complex schedule was managed flawlessly. As soon as the summer routes were stable, she immediately began to work on the routes for the upcoming 2025-2026 school year. Their work didn't stop there. Over 800 applications for the new school year were processed from mid-June to the start of the school year. And this huge task was handled by their amazing department secretary, Liz Chandler. Meanwhile, their summer utility drivers, Mary Bratz and Walter Bolitho, completed a massive deep clean effort, repairing every cut or hole in every seat and thoroughly cleaning the interior of the entire fleet under the guidance of their lead mechanic, Charlie Alas. This detailed work ensured that our students were welcomed back to a clean and safe environment. Their shop also had a busy summer. They prepared the fleet for another year and welcomed 3 new electric buses. That is a total of 11. They also began a new first light bright stop signs, which are proven to reduce the vehicles illegally trying to pass our buses. They ended the summer with a 2-day staff meeting, training, covering classroom refreshers, and building the wheeled exercises to ensure that every driver was ready for the first day of school. Now, moving on to our technology department, their work behind the scenes has been just as critical. Our tech services team was hard at work this summer, making upgrades to save money, improve classroom tools, and strengthen safety. Here's just a few highlights. They were the printing that saves time and money. So last year's responsible printing saved over $18,000 in toner cost alone. This year, they worked to create an easy badge swipe access on the secure printers and moved to a more secure cloud-based print server. The larger copiers were also refreshed throughout multiple sites with a high capacity and white machine, and the color machines were now standardized to modernize like the district-wide. Incident IQ was streamlined for faster help. New point of sale systems were enrolled at secondary schools for nutrition services. Google Classrooms now synced automatically through Clever, saving the teachers time. Staff had access to Brisk and Google Gemini for education, providing free AI-powered teaching tools. New safety call features were added, along with the iOS app that lets admins make school calls and use the PA tools for their district cell phones. High school CTE programs received modernized Mac labs for digital media, audio, and design. Our tech team worked directly with Apple engineers to create a secure Mac environment, a model that has already been drawn attention from other districts who have visited to learn more about their work. Tech Services has even been invited to present this project to the annual statewide conference. So just as our technology staff played an important role in getting ready for the new year, I also want to recognize the incredible efforts of our nutritious team. In the month of July, as a part of the summer school program, Nutrition Services provided lunches to 2,700 students and breakfast to 2,172. That's just in July. Over the summer months, Nutrition Services team tried out new recipes that highlighted fresh ingredients, well-balanced nutrition, and healthier choices for our students. These new menu items are designed to provide a variety while maintaining the familiar favorites students enjoy. Some of the new recipes will feature seasonal produce and products, and creative twist on classic dishes, which gives students more opportunity to try something new, but still feeling the comfort of being in the cafeteria. So lastly, but certainly not the least, my own maintenance and operations. Back in last May, right before graduation, Antelope Creek welcomed Art Arc from the Croker Art Museum. This 625 square foot mobile art education center serves 25 to 30 schools throughout the greater Sacramento region each year. Aboard the Art Arc, try saying that a few times, students join a short lesson from one of their educators who highlights how art connects to their own lives and the world around them. Students can roam through the multiple art stations and activities either by themselves or as a group. While this sounds so amazing, and it was, but not without one huge hiccup. When the driver arrived, he couldn't drop the trailer off due to a huge tree that was too low over the fire road, and the fence needed to be pushed back. So our grounds team, who consisted of Mike Bianco, Ben Perez, Rocklin High's team of Jake Worthing and Michael McNamara, dropped what they were doing, preparing for the high school graduation for Rocklin High School, went and removed the tree and the fence within an hour and a half, and allowed the Mobile Arts Center to be dropped and ready for the students that day. Grounds mechanic Ryan Kincaid, in collaboration with San Juan Unified School District, was able to borrow an electric cable to power up the trailer. The day went without a hitch, and the students were able to enjoy the center. I know, something that we never hear about, but behind the scenes, that's what happened for the kids. So over the summer, grounds maintenance and custodial teams completed a number of projects, working together as one team. They integrated their efforts, supported each other, and made sure our schools were ready and welcome for staff and students for the next year. For example, all hands are on deck for the installation of Valley View's marquee sign. At Rocklin High School, Jesus Pena-Reyes, Chris Arias, Will Feger, and Alex Kishkoshki replaced damaged siding and painted the 14 annex buildings in-house, which saved the district a significant amount of money. And at Sunset Ranch, Luke Garcia and Joe Peretta transitioned the door system from fobs to locks, all in-house again, saving the district money. And while these projects were being completed, we must not forget our custodial staff, who worked so busy doing deep cleaning the classrooms so that would be ready for staff and students. Our grounds team, who worked hard to make sure our school sites were pristine. And our maintenance crew, who tirelessly handled countless projects and ensured our schools could be opened smoothly. The teamwork and dedication across all departments this summer was nothing short of amazing, and I am honored to be a part of this amazing department. Lastly, I want to thank my executive board, Liz Salazar, Valerie Smith, Dawn Zick, and Nancy Howell. While I was out on medical leave, they stepped up in such a big way. They kept everything moving forward, supported our members, and worked with HR to make sure nothing fell through the cracks. It gave me such peace of mind knowing I could focus on my recovery and that I could count on them. I'm so grateful for their support, their friendship, and our amazing teamwork. And I honestly couldn't ask for a better group of people to work with and alongside to represent our union. So thank you so much for listening and letting me take up your time. I look forward to continuing sharing what our amazing classified staff accomplishes throughout the year and to remind you that we are the backbone of this district. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Bettina, thank you so much. I love the specific shout outs, and you're right, you are the backbone, and we appreciate you so much, appreciate all the work that was done over the summer, and we know there's so much behind the scenes that students and staff and families don't even think about because things show up working and clean and safe, and so we appreciate it. Thank you.
If I could jump in for one quick second. I had it for my prepared comments a little later, but I want to say it since you just spoke. I had multiple parents reach out to me just with appreciation of how beautiful the campuses looked when they arrived on the first day of school, and that does not happen on accident. And so I made sure to tell those parents that is not because of me or my doing. That is because of the incredible teams and crews that we have throughout our whole district. And so I want to make sure you hear that appreciation and that your teams hear that appreciation because that's because you guys were busy at work all summer. And I know we're going to get to highlight that later in the meeting. But for those that are only listening in right now, I want to make sure that you hear just heartfelt appreciation. I'm proud of our Rocklin campuses, and I love that our parents are proud of them too. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I will definitely share that with them tomorrow when I see them. So thank you guys. I appreciate all the positive comments that you give me, everything you guys have done. Just, you know, we're here for the kids. We're here for, you know, to support the kids and support, you know, administration, the teachers, everything. So that is our job, and that's what we love to do. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome.
All right, we'll now move to item 7.1, our comments and report from our student board representative, Lucas. Will you tell us a little bit about yourself since this is your first meeting? I know, sorry.
No,
he was
I'd
like
love
ready to
to.
go, I know.
No, I'd love to. My name's Lucas Marquardt. I'm the Whitney ASB president. I've been in leadership all 4 years. I love Whitney and the RUSD. It's really amazing, and I'm so grateful that we have such an amazing district.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, President Price, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Stock. The school year has begun, and there's already some exciting news to share from our RUSD schools. The Red Hawks over at Rock Creek have had a fantastic start to the 2025-2026 school year. They're looking forward to launching their cross-country season, hosting their first PTC meeting of the year to gather input on their one-time faculty's funds, and their fall book fair at the end of September. At Sierra Ranch, they're excited to announce that they have a new student bench from My Buddy Bench. It's been installed in their TK kindergarten playground, and they can't wait for their Coyotes to experience the friendship, connection, and a sense of belonging that makes their school so special. This was inspired and supported in part by a student named Finley Phelps from Valley View Elementary School, because she wanted to help students who move from new schools and easily make connections. Antelope Creek has launched Spark the Arts. Staff welcome back families to the campus with all new Spark the Arts signage, flags, and a brand new mural across Building K. New signage and a new revolving art museum screen has also been installed in the administration office. This screen will showcase students' projects that are going on in the classroom throughout the year. Oh, sorry. Thank you. More than 70 students have also signed up for the new after-school theater program, which started this week. Multidisciplinary units integrating the visual and performing arts into California content standards and board-adopted curriculum are starting in all classrooms, and each class has a masterwork piece of art that they will focus on and learn from as part of each unit. Each classroom, TK through 6, has a new interactive bulletin board in their classroom listing the current artistic process, artistic literacy strand, and element of art they're learning about for that unit. Stay tuned for the future announcements about after-school programs, school assemblies, student activities, community partnerships, and interactive art projects as the year progresses. Spark the Arts at Antelope Creek is off and running. Cobblestone has had a great start to the year with their PTC's recent restaurant night at Skipolini's, and they are working on the installation of a new mural with their cougar mascot in the front of the school. They are also working hard recruiting parent volunteers to revive the art docent program. They have great support from them and also are happy to have 2 student teachers this year and are about 10 to 12 Rocklin High School interns volunteering in their classrooms. Their TK/kindergarten students are loving the new playground structure put in over the summer by the Maintenance and Operations Department, and they have 12 teams of upper grade students playing in the rec league at snack recess organized by the PE teacher. Springview's had a fantastic start to the 25-26 school year. Their Eagles tried something new and did a campus-wide culture kickoff for the first 3 days of school. Sports start this week, and they're looking forward to their 3rd annual family picnic on September 19th. At Corey Trail, all students, families, and staff are focusing on bringing their Bronco best. They are excited to start the school year with their dual immersion students continuing in 3rd grade. Students are well on their way of being bilingual and biliterate. In addition, thanks to their PTC, 3 buddy benches were added to the playgrounds, giving students more ways to connect. Sierra has enjoyed a strong, positive start to the school year, and they are setting into routines and procedures and diving into academics. They're also celebrating Sierra's highest state test scores they've seen in a decade in the last couple of years in ELA and math, and looking forward to ways their hard-working staff and students can maintain that success. They have kicked off their monthly attendance challenges in hopes to inspire improved attendance, and their students are stepping up. Sierra's Awesome PTC is gearing up for the Sierra Fun Run, one of their biggest fundraisers of the year, to support the IB program and the Spanish instructor at Sierra. Whitney High School has had a strong start to the year with a smooth WOW week that featured positive campus energy and great student engagement. Leadership and Lead Crew welcome new students, grade level meetings, and their first drill reinforced safety and expectations. The fall athletics are off to an exciting start. Their art programs and clubs are gearing up for performances and club rush, while homecoming week is right around the corner. They're also focused on supporting students through academic interventions, counseling workshops, and college and career readiness activities. Twin Oaks has had a wonderful start to the school year as well, with students quickly settling into their daily routines. Their music program, along with movement and music, is already up and running, bringing joy and energy to their campus. They also enjoyed their first Timberwolves on the Town event at Crazy for Yogurt, which brought families together and highlighted their strong school spirit. On September 10th, they look forward to their first PTC meeting and social event where they hope to welcome even more parents to an already amazing team of volunteers. Students in grades 3 through 6 are wrapping up their MAP assessments, which will help guide teachers in planning for win time. This week, they are also excited to welcome their high school elementary interns, who will be supporting learning in the classrooms. It has been a fantastic beginning to the year, and they are grateful for the partnership of their families, staff, and community as they continue building positive momentum together. Valley View Elementary is excited about their wonderful start to the school year. Their classrooms and playgrounds are buzzing with the energy of students reconnecting with friends and diving into a new year of learning. They've also had valuable opportunities to practice their safety procedures through drills and real-life events. They're looking forward to a year full of learning and growth for all of their students. Their amazing PTC has been so supportive, and they are excited to welcome everyone back to their first family picnic on Friday, September 12th during lunch. Last Friday, Rocklin Elementary School had a successful Bulldog block party, complete with outdoor games and activities for the entire family. They're also gearing up for their fall festival, which will be held on October 17th. They will be reaching out to the high school for volunteers. Now last, finally, at Breen Elementary, the third graders are very excited for a new school year. They're meeting up with buddy classes, beginning their shuffle centers, and learning all about rules and procedures in the classroom and around their school. Last week, they got to go visit the library for the first time. They also can't wait for the Glow Dance next week. The ILS and ESN class at Breen is getting excited for their first walking field trip and community-based instruction to Save Mart. They're learning community safety and life skills through creating a grocery list and going grocery shopping. Also, through the ULS curriculum, they are learning how we all work together and exploring the rights and responsibilities of being part of a group. Thank you.
Lucas, that was perfect. I've known you since you were a little boy, and look how articulate and grown up you are.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll now hear comments from our board. Oh, sorry. Sorry. You deserve your clap, so sorry. Didn't mean to cut it. Now we'll have comments from our board and superintendent Stock. Trustees, do you have any comments you'd like to share?
Lucas, I just want to echo what a great job. I think it's, not only powerful to be able to hear what each school is doing, but to hear it from a student, right? And to, I'm sure a lot of work went into gathering all of that and preparing it. And so I appreciate you doing that and appreciate you being here. So thank you so much. And that was fully deserving of that clap. Great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I especially liked hearing the real world experience for the students and then the many campuses doing family engagement already early on in the school year. I really appreciate that. So thanks for highlighting that. Just a couple things, trustees, I wanted to highlight. I made a few comments already about some of our incredible campuses and the great work done over the summer, but just wanted to do another shout out. I'm sure we all have of appreciation for first day of school. I tried to pop onto as many campuses as I could throughout the day, and I have to say it was so fun seeing staff engaging and smiling, even at pickup, seeing principals and teachers out there high-fiving kids and a lot of times we hear frustration at pickup. I didn't see any of it. I saw excited students running to parents to tell them about their day, and I saw staff with smiles on. And so I know that is no easy task, managing everything that comes with the first day of school. And so I just want to make sure, again, a shout out of appreciation to all of our teams, our bus drivers, our teachers, our aides in the classroom, those, whether you are forward-facing or you're behind the scenes, everybody was working together to make it a great first day. As a trustee, I often wait on the first day of school by my phone, wondering what phone calls are going to come. And I will say it is always a joy when I get to hear the excitement from families and their appreciation for the great work the district's doing. So I want to make sure that gets to our teams that are doing the real work. So thank you. Just a couple other things I wanted to highlight. CSBA does an annual conference where school board members throughout the state come to really try to learn from the best of the best throughout the state that are doing things well. And I just thought it was wonderful, and I have to do a shout out again to our teams. CSBA has asked Rocklin Unified to present specifically on their math improvement work. And I just think, wow, that is incredible of all the districts throughout the state for them to ask Rocklin Unified and their teams to highlight the great work that the district is doing from our superintendent through our cabinet, through our district teams. I just think, there is always improvement that we can do, but there has been a focused goal on math improvement, and the data has shown some great results. And I just wanted to say kudos to every individual that has been working on our math improvement the last few years. It's always nice when there's recognition throughout the state given to the great work Rocklin Unified's doing. And then additionally, I just wanted to highlight school site councils. I love to do that every year. I think it's really good for parents listening in to know this is a great opportunity for you to engage with your schools. School site councils will meet a few times throughout the year. There's always parent representatives elected. You're elected by other parents on your campus. September is the month that school site council elections happen. So if you have not heard about school site councils yet, your specific school, please reach out to your principal, reach out to your teacher. I'm sure they'd be happy to give you that information. If your school has already done their election or is in the process of it, this is also a great reminder to reach out to whoever your representative is throughout the year. The school board gets a lot of great information from our school site councils. They're the ones that know, they're the boots on the ground that know what Cobblestone needs as opposed to Rock Creek, what Springview needs as opposed to Granite Oaks. I was able to serve a few different terms, both as a parent when my daughter was at Cobblestone and as a parent when my son was at Rocklin High. And I will tell you, it was just such great conversation. Not only did I get to share parent desires, but I got to hear a lot of the hard work that goes into every decision that is made by our staff and our teachers and our principals. And so just an encouragement to parents, school site councils, it's that time of year. Sign up to be on one. If you're not on one, reach out, find out who your rep is at your site, because periodically us as trustees reach out to school site council members and say, hey, tell us what your campus is seeing and what your campus needs. They'll be going over school safety plans and your school plan for student achievement. So safety, student achievement, I can't think of two better, more important things for parents to put their time to. So thank you to those that have served, and I'm excited to see who will be serving this next term at each of our campuses.
So, great job. Keep it going, right? Excellent. Claws up. Is that what Colin's going to tell you, right? Yes. So, just really grateful to see everybody, see the color guard again, see the great things at the schools. Walking around my neighborhood, I got to see all the paint work at Sunset Ranch, watched it, and just amazing. You see around the schools, you go through the community, everything looks great. Places are amazing. Thank you to your teams for keeping all that there. So great. And then good mention on Save Mart. I was walking through the grocery store the other day, and you walk out, and you see all these pictures on the wall and all this stuff, and it was their thank you notes to the store for doing that. So just really neat to see that in the community. Great for the kids to be a part of it. So very, very cool. Thank you for that.
Lucas, thank you. It's great to have you here. I'm excited to get to know you. Sounds like great things are going on for you at school, and I appreciate all the messages you shared from all of our other schools. So many great things going on out there. I started to take notes, and then I was like, there's just too much. I'll have to look at Lucas's notes. And then Bettina, thank you so much for all that you shared. I love it, and in fact, I would love to get a copy of what you read tonight. I would love to see those names and make note. And we knew that all this hard work was going on behind the scenes, but it was really great to hear names and specific things that are happening on campuses and in transportation. I didn't know 800. That is a huge number. That kind of blew my mind. But so much is going on, and I really appreciate you gathering that information and sharing it with us. And I'm looking forward to Craig's report, all the pictures and things that are going to go along with all those reports. And hearing about how everything went. So I was able to go to the Whitney High School back to school night, and I hadn't been to a Whitney High School back to school night before, so I didn't have kids go through Whitney. They went through Rocklin. But it was such a fun night, such a joy to be there. I'm glad that it's you here tonight, Lucas, because it was packed. Like, you think as the kids grow up, the parents kind of get more and more distant, but not at Whitney. It was packed. I mean, wall-to-wall parents, and going from class to class like their students do, except they had to do all of it in one night. But it was such a joy. I hung out with Principal Collins, and he was high-fiving everybody, hugging, talking to everybody that walked by, encouraging everyone, all the parents, and there were some students there as well. Especially the leadership was there helping and directing people, doing a great job. It was just really, really cool to see. All the teachers were standing at their doors, giving high fives and welcoming people. It was just a great atmosphere. It was wonderful to participate. I just also want to give a shout out to the teachers who these last 3 weeks have been a lot of classroom management and just training kids how to behave in the classroom again, because they do forget over the summer. And I know that's a lot of hard work, and it's frustrating because you're dying to dive into your curriculum. But teaching the kids that you love them and care about them, and the expectations in your classroom is such an important way to begin the year. And you're so appreciated, and we're so grateful that you keep Rocklin excellent.
Thank you. Okay, I've just got a couple things. First of all, I just wanted to give a shout out to communications for all of the work that they did. We have all new websites for every campus and for our district, which is just a huge amount of work. I was reading through some of the details. You know, the high school pages have, they were scrubbed down, outdated content, and still have over 100 web pages, right? That's a lot. And I also loved hearing that we had a photographer out in the spring taking pictures of students, teachers, and staff that are on their own school's website and on our district website. And on the elementary and middle school websites, their students will be featured. And then on the high school websites, we've been able to utilize our CTE and our yearbook students who take amazing pictures who are winning awards and post them on their website throughout the school year. So that's really awesome. Grateful for the good work there. Also wanted to point out a partnership that we have in our community with Rocklin FC, the soccer club. They are partnering with us to bring a 2-week soccer program to every elementary school this academic year. Their licensed coaches introduce the fundamentals of the game to students of all levels through fun and interactive activities. And then there will be an optional after-school component, and then in the spring, there also will be forming teams at each school made up of 5th and 6th graders, and then the schools will have an opportunity to play each other. So just really grateful for the many partnerships that we have in our community, and wanted to just call that one out specifically. And then last but not least, let's see, I think that I had one other thing. Nope, I think that's it, but just also love this time of year and the energy that the students and the families and the staff bring, and it's contagious. You can feel it on the campuses, and so grateful for a fresh start. So, Superintendent Stock.
Just echo the thanks for, we just had a strong start to school. We always have a few, issues that crop up as we kind of restart the cruise and kind of begin the shakedown part and get rolling, but just the tremendous work, and Bettina, thank you for your, again, detailed report, just highlighting all the things that go on. And while we have many members in this building that are not CSEA members, they also are working to make sure people are hired, that the finances keep rolling, and all those other pieces to really go in. And then, people, think that teachers have 3 months off, and that really just isn't true. I mean, they are in early, they're working, they're continuing their learning, and that's why even some of the II tools that were mentioned, folks were engaging with that over the summer. We could see that. And so just so thankful for folks that are so dedicated to our kids and to our families and to their profession as well. And it makes a difference. And we see that in just the high satisfaction that our families and confidence they have in our district. And so we appreciate that. And Spark the Arts, as you mentioned, Lucas is off, and it's just exciting to see as the board's placed a high priority in providing more choice for our families, that is our latest choice option for families. And then, we continue to expand our offerings. You'll hear a little bit tonight about, we have a new CTE course with Sierra College that with our partners with the Rocklin Police to explore that, and a lot of work from Mr. Flowers and our Rocklin PD to make that happen. And then, again, the partnerships extend throughout the city. Last Tuesday night, Mr. Flowers and I had the opportunity to go to the Rocklin City Council meeting where they honored the students from our district that participate in a very unique program. This is the only place I've heard this where our city provides an internship type opportunity for students to explore what are all the different careers and options that make a city run, whether it's traffic management or parks and rec or public safety. And then that is financially supported through our Rocklin Education Excellence Foundation. And then we have phenomenal Rachel Lund who helps coordinate that. So it's a really unique partnership between the district, the city, and our foundation to give kids an internship, another opportunity for that. And they were honored at the city council meeting, and we appreciate the city hosting our kids. So again, and that's been something that we've done over a decade that is out there. And then talk about people coming in over the summer. Lucas, the Rocklin High ASB president, their student leadership advisors all came in for training during the summer. I think on the last day before school started, they gave that up and came in with Mr. Flowers and I, and it went through some just training and orientation. So again, we appreciate everyone acknowledging all the work that happens to have a really good start. It's not by accident, and we're really grateful for that.
Thank you so much. I apologize. I've got to share one more thing. I knew that there was something else, and it really is important that I share this, that, you know, I think it's been the last maybe 2 or 3 years we've asked for parent involvement on our district advisory committees, and this year we had more parents than ever volunteer. We had over 70 parents complete the form to volunteer, and so we've got all of these committees, and they are well represented, and I'm just so grateful for the community involvement that we have in Rocklin. It's really unique, and it doesn't go unnoticed. I'm grateful for that and wanted to thank those parents as well. So thank you for letting me do that. Item 8.1 is our consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are to be considered routine and will be enacted by one motion followed by a roll call vote. Any item may be pulled by a trustee for separate discussion and action. Does any trustee wish to remove an item from the consent calendar for separate discussion and action?
I'd like to pull item 8.2, RUSD regular board meeting minutes, please.
Okay. Trustee Sadoff requested to remove consent item 8.2 for separate discussion and action. Is there a motion to approve the remainder of the consent agenda items?
So moved.
First by Trustee Hupp.
Second.
Second by Trustee Counter. Georgia, will you please call the roll?
Lucas Marquardt,
Yes.
Tiffany Sadoff,
Yes.
Derek Counter.
Yes.
Julie Hupp,
Yes.
Rochelle Price.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you. Trustee Sadoff, would you please speak to item 8.2?
Yeah, unfortunately, because I was gone visiting my older child down in Southern California, I can't vote on those minutes, so I have to abstain.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve consent agenda item 8.2?
So moved.
First by Trustee Counter.
Second.
Second by Trustee Hupp. Georgia, will you please call the roll?
Lucas Marquardt,
Yes.
Tiffany Sadoff,
Abstain.
Derek Counter,
Yes.
Julie Hupp,
Yes.
Rochelle Price.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you. All right, item 9.1, we invite Marty Flowers, Associate Superintendent of Secondary Education, to present item 9.1, Action on College and Career Access Partnership Agreement and College and Career Access Pathways 2 Partnership Agreement with Sierra College in conjunction with concurrent enrollment resolution.
Thank you so much, President Price, Trustees, Superintendent Stock. Before I begin the presentation, Lucas, great job, and I just have to say, I was out at Whitney High School first day. They had the tunnel, they had the cheerleaders, and I just have to give a shout out to Mr. G. It was amazing to see him. Every kid that walked in, he was high-fiving. He had special handshakes, and I don't know how he remembers that, but he just brings such energy, and it was a great day to be out there, to be a Wildcat, claws up. So. With that, we'll carry on with that lengthy introduction in regards to this item. To meet the needs of our students, RUSD will continue to partner with Sierra College and offer the dual enrollment option through the College and Career Access Pathway Partnership, also known as CCAP. This year, RUSD offers an additional course in Administration of Justice through the College and Career Access Pathway 2 Partnership, CCAP 2. Per California Ed Code, the CCAPs require the agreement to be approved with the accompanying resolution regarding concurrent enrollment. With that, staff asks the board to take action on the College and Career Access Pathways Partnership Agreement and the College and Career Access Pathway 2 Partnership Agreement with Sierra College in conjunction with the concurrent enrollment resolution.
Thank you so much. Are there any board comments or questions?
Just a couple quick comments. I just appreciate the work on this, right? We've talked about having more opportunities for our students, specifically these college career pathways, but also making sure that our students have local opportunities, right? And I just think it's phenomenal, the partnership that we're looking at and we're doing. So just want to appreciate that work there. I think I saw over 900 students this next year are participating in one of these dual enrollment.
That number is based on what was there last year, but we're
Okay.
going to continue all those. You know, the final number really depends on the students and their enrolling in the CR College process, but we have our counselors that do that along with a liaison from CR College that comes in. CR College actually just started last Tuesday, so we'll start getting those enrollment numbers in, but yes, extremely proud of the fact that we have the partnership and the number of kids that take advantage of this.
Yeah, and so for parents listening in, this is dual enrollment. So while your student is going to high school, they are able to take a course that receives college credit, i.e. saves money in the future and time, right? So we have students that are actually graduating their high school career with already having college credits done. So what a wonderful opportunity. Thank you for that. Mr. Flowers, how could parents find out more? I know the resolution tonight, if they open it up, it lists the classes that we have. Is that the best way for them to get that information?
By all means, please reach out to your teacher. They'll provide that information, or reach out to the counselor in charge of that. They'll provide all the information as far as how to register. It is a little bit of a process, but it's so important. Like you said, these are free, college level, transferable credits that they earn through dual enrollment. So by all means, please, parents, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, or if you would like to reach out to the principals and or counselors, I highly recommend that. Take advantage of this opportunity.
Having gotten one child through college and a second one in the process going through, parents, this is a wonderful opportunity before you have to start or before your student starts paying for school.
Yes, thank you for that.
And just to go with it, a great opportunity, especially as a senior or especially in your second semester when you tend to have some open time. This is a great use of your time and skills and keeping it all there. So tell your friends.
And Mr. Flowers, just really quickly, do they get high school credits as well as college credits for the same course?
That is correct. The dual enrollment, so this is a collaboration with a course at Sierra College. So the teacher of the high school works in conjunction with Sierra College. It's a great partnership. They earn both high school credit as well as the college credit.
Awesome, thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Is there a motion to approve the College and Career Access Pathways Partnership Agreement and College and Career Access Pathways 2 Partnership Agreement with Sierra College in conjunction with concurrent enrollment resolution?
So moved.
Quick question.
Let's do first by Trustee Sadoff. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Counter. Georgia, will you please call the roll?
Lucas Marquardt,
Yes.
Tiffany Sadoff,
Yes.
Derek Counter,
Yes.
Julie Hupp,
Yes.
Rochelle Price.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you. Okay, item 10.1. Marty, will you please continue with information on a Rocklin Unified School District adoption recommendation for advanced placement psychology?
President Price, I apologize. I forgot to give one shout out to, it's so great that we have the collaboration with Rocklin Police Department. Chief Banks really pushed for this. Captain Morris, Lieutenant Jensen doing a great job. I believe right now we have 24 individuals showing up, 0 period. So 7:45, and again, we're very excited about this. That's being offered at Whitney High School this semester. In the spring, it'll be offered at Rocklin High School, and already I'm hearing positive results of this. Long-term planning is in conjunction with this introductory course to create a pathway. Laura Brunn does an amazing job with forensics, one of the most popular classes out there. Right now, kids are only getting credit for the first course, not the second course. We got to get our friends at Sierra College to work with us and pick up with what Ms. Brunn is doing, because it's amazing. And once again, long-term planning at Sierra College and Sac State, create that campus out there. You know, we have FBI headquarters right there. It's really a great opportunity to expand on that. So all that's in the works, but again, it's just great. And a shout out to Captain Morrison and Lieutenant Jensen. With that, President Price, Trustee, Superintendent Stock, I come before you tonight because another great opportunity, and I will say I'm one of the parents that took advantage of this, are AP offerings that we have. We have a number of them. Our teachers go above and beyond to teach the advanced placement courses. Once again, if a student passes the test, they can. Not all colleges accept this, but many do. And again, as a parent whose son went to Cal Poly, my son was able to graduate literally in 3 years, saving me thousands of dollars. So shout out to our AP teachers for all they do to support our kids. Tonight I come before you with advanced placement in the area of psychology. Just a quick overview of the process, the background, the rationale, what other local districts are doing, the timeline, committee work and recommendation, the public review process, and next steps. As always, I love to give shout outs. Amanda Bannister does a great job with this. You've seen this before, and this is what we do with the state of California. They update their frameworks. From that, publishers take that and create the curriculum, and then from that, school districts go and select curriculum and go through that process. It's a little bit different with AP because instead of the state doing this, the College Board, along collaboration with high school teachers, along with university faculty, really create these courses and work in that in conjunction with looking at the frameworks that are established in that content area. So a little bit different there. As far as the background to this, AP courses provide students, and I've already kind of said this, I apologize, the opportunity to engage in college-level academic work and earn college credit through the completion of the national examination administered each May by the College Board. And once again, our AP liaisons at the high school set it up, and we have hundreds of students that take these tests. The College Board supports these students, teachers, and administrators through program resources, and they conduct periodic course audits, recommending districts maintain updated curriculum aligned with state and national expectations. With that, other districts in the area, most recently our neighbor in Roseville Joint, they adopted the recommended textbook in their last meeting in May 27th specifically, and then other local districts, north, south, east, west of us, Elk Grove, all those, Western Placer, Placer Union, they all use this textbook. It's in the world of AP, textbooks are used throughout the country. They also have a great online presence, and this is where a lot of our teachers get a lot of support, ideas on how to better support the students, but most importantly, using that updated textbook that really helps them. This year, once again, we understand that there may be some controversy that comes along with that, but this is where, with the new Supreme Court decision, Mahmoud v. Taylor, parents will have the right to opt out of anything that goes against their religious beliefs. So that's something that in the past, when AP psychology has been taught, there's always questions about that. The test will still test students on this, but parents will have the right this year with this new decision to opt out of specific areas that they don't feel comfortable with. So that, to me, that's a benefit to our parents, and once again, our teachers understand that process. With that, just a quick review of the timeline. In the spring of 2024, the College Board announced the revised course and exam description. We jumped on that and we identified a curriculum review team. In May, we reviewed some of that material, and then last year in August, we began piloting that material. Parents were informed of this. Parents were also invited to participate in that process. So jump ahead, we're in September, where I'm here tonight. Realize that our next board meeting, I believe, is September 17th, so that doesn't meet the 30-day public review. So I won't come back until October 15th, because we have to make that available. But I'll be back in October. Hopefully, if approved, we will move forward to use this textbook in the late fall of 2025. As far as what does that committee do, and again, just a shout out to Amanda, she does a great job with this. They reviews and revise the new coursework. They go through the instructional materials. They use a rubric to evaluate the alignment of this AP course with the exam description, the program content, organization assessment, access, and social content standards. Further evaluation of the proposed curriculum through piloting is designated classrooms took place in the fall of 2024, including student feedback. And then once again, per our board policy 6161.1, parents from each high school participated in this process. Here is the textbook the recommended textbook the committee decided on. This is David Myers. I've learned he kind of owns that whole world of AP psychology. He has a number of textbooks. This one is the 4th edition, specifically for the updated AP psychology material. With that, as always, with any textbook adoption, per California Ed Code 60202, a public review is recommended for a minimum of 30 days. It recommends involvement of parents, which we always meet. And then once again, at the direction of the board a couple years ago, we made this process extremely easy by making that available on the website 24/7. We are committed to having parents review this material. That process, once again, we'd like to start that as soon as possible. There's a website there that as soon as we get the word, we will make that live. We will inform the parents of this website. Digital access to this curriculum, this particular textbook will be made available on the district webpage, and then staff will be available to answer any questions parents may have in regards to this. Our next steps, as I mentioned, because we can't bring it to the next meeting because we don't meet that 30-day requirement. So on October 15th, AP Psychology will return adoption, present it to the board for action, and if that curriculum is approved at that October 15th meeting, we will move forward as normal, order the curriculum, deliver that to sites, provide the professional development to the teachers teaching the class, and then provide ongoing support. So that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Can you help me understand with the Mahmood versus Taylor ruling, how do parents go about opting out? How do they know what curriculum is being taught on specific dates, and what procedure do they use to opt out of the curriculum they don't want?
So I believe this was passed in June 27th, so we quickly responded to this. I got to give a ton of credit to my colleague, Dr. McDonald. In Ed Services, we worked with Superintendent Stock to create, this information is on the website. If you want access to get into that curriculum at the elementary level, it's a little different. They have a couple curriculum rooms they can go to. At the high school level, it's recommended that you reach out to your principal. If there's a particular textbook you want to see, make an appointment, and then we'll make that textbook available, just because we have libraries full-time at the secondary sites. If after that process, and on that same information, if you already know ahead of time that because of your specific religious beliefs, you wish to opt out of specific curriculum, you can go ahead and fill out that form. That form comes here to the district office. We review that in Ed Services, and we work out with, we reach out to the school principal, and then that school principal will reach out to that teacher, because what we really want to take place is a dialogue, because sometimes it may be that an alternative assignment could be made. Sometimes not, and we want them to have that dialogue to understand specifically what is the concern of the parent, why are they opting out, and how can we continue to best meet the needs of that student.
So for example, if my son was in the class and I reviewed the curriculum ahead of time and I said chapter 6 is a no-go, I have paperwork to fill out on the website.
Correct. Go to the district webpage. You can go under educational services and I believe it's instructional options. You can go through there, click on that, and it explains that process. Again, we try to keep that confidential. Everyone doesn't need to know everyone's business. We work specifically with that site principal who works specifically with that individual teacher. And from that, we ask them to start that dialogue. Best case scenario is they'd have a parent meeting and to best understand. And again, our job is to respect their views, but do the best we can to teach that curriculum.
So how far in advance?
Trustee Hubbard,
Yes.
under the curriculum
Yes.
and instruction portion,
Yes.
so then there's an option, as Mr. Flowers said, about instructional options, and they could select 3 options under that tab, whether it's history and social studies, or school library resources, or opting out from instructional content, and then there's more information there.
Okay, awesome. And would that information on where to find it and how to find it be included in the syllabus? And how far in advance would a parent need to do that?
Yeah, we asked them to give us some time so we could have that meeting and do that. So I would say if they already know there's a concern, reach out to your principal as soon as possible. Going back to the district webpage, if they just go on the search and just type in opt out, it'll take them to that page. So as soon as they know this information, I would say reach out. We want to make sure that information gets to the teacher, so we obviously don't offend anyone and do anything that parents aren't wishing us to do. But that does actually take some time. Do not send an email. I would say reach out to your school principal and/or go to that district webpage. As soon as they fill that out, Dr. McDonald and myself will receive that, and we act on those quickly.
Okay. And so can I ask again, would that information be included in the syllabus, letting parents know that they have that option?
That was highly recommended that they share that information. I cannot answer whether or not every course syllabus had that option available. We did send the information out through the district in regards to that, and I believe Sandeep,
we sent it multiple ways. I sent it in the back-to-school newsletter or my back-to-school message to all parents. There was a link to all these processes. Also in our newsletter that went out to families that Chief Assange produces, there was information in there again. And so we recognize that it's a new process, and our goal, as Mr. Flowers said, is really to provide, one, parents aware of what curriculum there is and a way to access it so they can look at that and so they can know if they want to choose to opt out. And then the second is kind of a single process in our district for make it easy on parents of how to exercise that. And what we're really asking is parents, tell us what it is you'd like to opt out of, and then we'll work with it. We don't require a meeting, we don't require those, but often we find that sometimes there might be some clarification or how long, how many days, what assignment, and we want to provide that. But we are in no way wanting to sit and judge a parent's reason. It's more of just we need to know what it is specifically so we can make sure we fulfill your wishes for your child. And so we've had a few come in, and we work quickly to work with parents on those.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Trustee Hub, I appreciate the questions that you had, because although we're talking about psychology, because that was included in there, I do think it's really important for parents to be aware this isn't specific just to AP Psychology. This is now all materials. This is curriculum, but in addition, as you mentioned, Chief Dosanjh, the library materials, and so I really appreciate your questions, so parents can really know and understand. And then also, I just wanted to clarify on it. From the conversations I've had, it sounds like the intent is not to ask why, but the intent is more just so the school district is aware and able to comply with making sure that parents' wishes are followed. I know I had a parent reach out and kind of ask, well, how do I explain what my religion is and what is a sincerely held personal religious belief? To my knowledge, the district isn't asking any parent to do that. The form is really just to facilitate these are the specific pieces of curriculum or books that I would prefer my child not to have access to. Is that correct, Superintendent Stock?
It is, and all we ask parents to do is to literally check a box on, this is based on a sincerely held belief. We don't determine what's sincere, what's not, what the belief. We trust you to determine what that is, but that is in the Supreme Court ruling, the reason for the opt-out. And so we just ask you to just check a box attesting that's your reason, but we don't ask what it is, how sincere, unsincere, any of that stuff. We don't want to judge that because that'd put us in an impossible position.
Thank you very much for clarifying that. I appreciate that. And just to be clear, I have nothing against Chapter 6. That was just randomly thrown out there.
I really value the rigor of these AP classes that we offer, but I'm concerned about some of the subjects that are in this book for high school students, right? I'm not sure that all of them are developmentally ready for this material. There's a lot of sensitive topics in this book, so I'd like to talk through and maybe brainstorm, and I know this is not a voting action item tonight, it's information, but what are some ways that we can be sure that our parents, as they're making a decision, they're looking in the spring for AP classes? So I sit down and I say, okay, these are the AP options, but I want to see then what is in the syllabus. Is that an option? I'm not sure if that would be on, the site website, but they can see then, this is AP Psych, this is the book that they use, and this is the syllabus. Also, I so appreciate these websites that have the whole curriculum there is listed. Is that not possible also to keep that link there at all times? So throughout the school year, if a parent's like, yikes, I'm not sure about this chapter, but I know I can get to the book easily rather than going through a form. I would really love it if that was an option and a possibility. I know that our sensitive topics policy states that teachers need to let parents know 2 weeks before, but if they're saying, okay, this is coming in 2 weeks and then we've got to go through this district website, is that going to be efficient and timely? Whereas if we could get parents the information in the spring when they're deciding on the class, then they have another look at it and a reminder of it at the beginning of the school year. And then again, they have access to it at any point. I think that would be really valuable because it's nice that they have this option to opt out, but we've got to do what we can to be sure that that we're helpful to make it easy for them.
I absolutely think that there can. We have precedent in when the board adopted new social science materials in 2019, the board put in policy that we'd like to make sure that for that particular curricular area that we inform parents, and that's like, for example, all the required like social science courses, we have that extensive, like not just detailed of like, we have 5 units, but it's like it goes into a pretty detailed description of each chapter and section. We can do that. One of the advantages to having a curriculum come before the board for approval and even new elective courses coming to the board for approval is that it gives an opportunity for the board to give direction on, hey, we think this course might have something that we want to make sure additional information is provided. So so if we say approve something, we're doing it with that expectation, and there may be something that say is Woodshop 3 that the board says, that's a fine course, and you don't make that requirement. So I think that this does, by our processes of curriculum and courses coming to the board, gives the board to weigh in and say, we think this one needs additional information all the time on before they sign up, when they're in the course, so parents can exercise that opportunity.
Yeah, the only thing I would add to that is I want to make sure all parents know that AP classes are really college level.
Right.
They're earning college credit. So although I agree, but I had a son go through and he wasn't really mature. But I understand not
frontal
all
lobe
of them.
developed.
But once again, they truly are taking on college level work.
Absolutely.
So like, and that's good. So I guess, is it fair to say that this is like an AP 101 Sac State type course, or correlates to it? I'm sorry, a psychology 101,
Yes,
Psych 101.
exactly. It's a college level course. Again, the course description and exam written by college professors along with the assistance of high school, but they are earning college credit. So yes, it's a intro to a college course, I would say.
Fair. And then as far as a syllabus, comparable to your Psych 101 at Sac State, Psych 101 at Jessup, Psych 101 at
I would say very similar.
Sierra? Okay.
Yeah.
And then do we have those syllabi, thank you, on online, or when will all that go out so that whether it be a Rocklin student or a Whitney student?
Yes, a lot of that information is actually available to parents through their Schoology, their students, the syllabus. Again, we just recently had back to school night. A lot of that information goes out. I totally apologize because I got this new Apple Watch and it was just ringing. That was my son. I'm guessing that my son is watching me right now, and I just ripped on him. If he is, I love him. Keep up the good work. He's a teacher. He teaches at an AP school down in Vista. So good for him. He's in his 4th year. But yes, I'm sorry, Trustee Counter. Yeah, we can make that information available. Like I said, if any parents right now have questions, I would say work with your student, go on their Schoology, and I believe that's available, as I see Lucas shaking his head over there.
Any additional comments or questions?
Yeah, I just had, again, I know it's not a voting night on this item, but I just was looking at the timeline, a little bit of actions that have already been taken. I know we've talked a few times about just curriculum adoptions in general and really wanting to make sure that, we're giving a thorough analysis, that we're involving parents in the process. And so I think for this one, it surprised me a little that this textbook was really already in use for the entire prior calendar year. It looked like, at least according to the timeline. Is that typical for a pilot to be for an entire year?
Last year, they did the pilot. I do believe that they referred to it. Pilot, typically you want to go through 2 to 3 units. An AP class is a little more challenging. But I'm not sure if they used it all year or not. I know the pilot on here went through December, and I would say that is fairly common to do that, just depending on the book and the course.
Did we pilot any other books or just that one?
Initially we looked at 4 books. 2 of them were determined right away not to meet the alignment of the College Board. Then they went into the process of looking at 2 books. Soon into that process, the other book that they were looking at did not meet the requirements, so they did settle on the one that we have here, and that was the only one that we did officially pilot in the classroom.
You know, and I can understand an elective is a little different, right? But I'm trying to, you know, as a board member, I first heard about this in an email communication on August 8th of this year, 2025. How many AP psychology classes do we have?
AP Psychology this year, I believe, at
Last
Whitney-
year.
Last year, I believe we had 4 at Whitney High School and 2 at Rocklin High School.
Okay. And this textbook was the sole textbook used for all of them last
Correct.
year?
Correct.
Okay. I just want to make
Excuse
sure.
me, not the sole textbook, because we have the old one that they made or referred to. That one's 17 years old. This one, parents were informed, would be a pilot, and so they did use it. Again, I'm not exactly sure if they used it throughout the entire year or not. I could find that information out and report back to you,
Thank
though.
you. I just want to make sure as we, you know, as we continue on and we have other subjects that we look at, you know, it is important to make sure. I actually, not to say that but I have a psychology degree from UC Davis. And so psychology is really a great opportunity and a great pathway for many students. It's near and dear to my heart. I wish I was able to take AP psychology back in the day when I was in high school. It wasn't an option. And so I appreciate all of the great work that has gone into it. I really want to make sure that we're very clear and that we have a good standard for when we're implementing new curriculum or we're piloting curriculum, that it truly is an assessment of the curriculum and a pilot before it is really implemented and utilized as a sole curriculum. If there were other curriculums there, that's good to hear. I just want to make sure we go through that process because I was a little surprised to hear about it first time being this year, not knowing it had gone through such a lengthy process over the course of the last year, so much so that parents were notified back on April 2024.
Okay. One thing I'd like to add is once again, because there is, each AP course has a Facebook that teachers throughout the country use. So I think that also helped because this is one not only used locally, but throughout the country. This is kind of the AP textbook many states use, you know, so I also think that kind of drove them to this book. They did look, like I said, at 3 others, but they decided on this one. But I hear what you're saying. We can do a better job of communicating.
And trustees, just to make sure parents were notified last August, I think 15th, I think it was, but August, that there would be a pilot occurring in the course. There was an online access to the textbook so parents could review the content as well. So it wasn't like, hey, we're piloting, but you can't see the book. So parents were informed at the very beginning of instruction that there would be a pilot occurring in the year with access to the text. The previous year, there was parents were notified to begin building a committee so that work could begin to start looking and picking a curriculum to pilot. And that's why the April notification occurred, was to start the committee process so that something could be piloted at the beginning of the year.
I appreciate that parents were notified. I think what Trustee Sadoff is hinting at, and what I agree with is that, do we have a board policy where we know what curriculum is coming, what's being piloted, and how long it's being piloted for?
I'll have to do some research on that.
Okay.
I'm not aware of a board policy, but
And does CSBA have a suggested policy for that?
I will look into that for the board to see if there's a policy. My thinking initially is there will be something around instructional material adoptions, and it may live in that may be in a space related to one of our policies we reference, and I'll share what that would be if that would live. The board also has the option to amend a policy to say if we want to put in a requirement that the board's notified prior to pilots beginning, that we in writing, that we be an example of something like that, we can do so to ensure it's in the policy, and then we can adapt that as part of our practice, just like we did the extending the involvement of parents.
Okay,
so
thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. Along with the extending, just to share with my colleagues, I did ask Superintendent Stock that we include committees for curriculum in our ask at the beginning of the school year. So, you know, next August, as part of what we're asking for, are there parents also that we can add to our random lottery that are interested in doing some curriculum review? I think that's a fair time to ask for that as well.
The pilot class or classes that we ran, did they take the AP exam?
they did.
What was the average scores data?
86% of 209 students, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, 86% of them passed. And again, our teachers and our students do an amazing job. We have a very high pass rate in all of our AP courses.
But 86% for AP Psych.
Just AP Psychology, yes.
Excellent. Great job.
Passed 86.4% of the students.
Anything else?
I appreciate the additional information about parent involvement and parent reach out and parent outreach. I think that's really important. I just think it's good for us to have very clear standards because I do think it's important oftentimes when we start a 30-day curriculum review open to the community, many times the community assumes that this is a curriculum that the board is suggesting to the community and wanting the community input on, when in this case, it was very new to me as well. And so it's helpful for us to be a part of that process. And, often for electives, it's smaller committees, right? I think this was maybe 6 people on it. Is that correct?
Yeah, 6 people. We only have 1 teacher at each high school. So we had the department head and the teacher, and then we had 2 parents. So yeah, total of 6.
And so I appreciate all the work that has gone in. I want to be able to be at a point where I can champion things and be able to work with and be excited when I bring a curriculum to a community. But I also think it's important regarding this. This is a curriculum that is new to the board or new to myself. And so I really encourage parents these next 30 days to really look at it. I do think there are some topics and some themes that are quite advanced. I'm going through actually the new state framework for AP Psychology to really see how necessary and how consistent those are, especially with the College Board exam. I appreciate the resources that College Board puts out. I just think it's really important for the community to know this is their opportunity to really weigh in and look at curriculum while the board is also weighing in and looking at the curriculum for the first time as well.
Will do.
And then just non-AP, but from a general psychology standpoint, if I didn't want to take the AP psychology class.
Once again, we have a number. We have regular psychology at Rocklin High School. Remember last year we approved sports psychology. I do think that could be one of the reasons why the numbers are down a little bit at Rocklin High School, whereas Sean Robin out at Whitney High School, he has 6 sections of AP psychology. So, but they also offer regular psychology as well, I believe.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. When that comes back to us, Superintendent Stock, can you bring some of those additional parental notification pieces with it?
Yes, what we'll do based on the feedback tonight, and I appreciate the chance to clarify the feedback, is we'll provide the board with not just the recommendation, but we'll also include, here are some options that to increase notification, and the board at that point can say, that's on track. Matter of fact, we'll work to provide that to the board in a memorandum.
Okay.
Here's our line of thinking, just so that way the board has a chance in advance to see that. If you have additional feedback for us, we can take that into account. And then when we bring the item to the board, we'll bring that as well, because the board may choose to say, if we take action on this in this way, then we want this level of notification for this particular course or piece to go with it. And then I also heard as a follow-up item to do some research on our overall, not related just to this topic, but our overall curriculum adoption process. How is there any language that we have in policy currently about board being notified in advance? If not, can we suggest some possible language, and that could be brought up as a separate item? And then, so I'll work on that as well.
Yes. In addition to that, also the pilot length, will you include some of that in that?
Right. That maybe some possible length of, this is the length of the pilot. And it may be that we look at some language, and I'll work with our education services staff that we may put in some language of, not to exceed type of thing, but we could include any notification to the board of, here's the pilot, here's the length, and so that there's full transparency for the board and our community, and then we can enshrine that in policy to make sure that's followed.
Thank you.
As you're researching that and preparing that, I think it could go hand in hand with a process that we have already implemented a few years back, specifically regarding curriculum, that every January new requests come before the board, including electives. I believed at that time that also included new curriculum, but if that's not the case, maybe that's something that merges together, or maybe that's the last thing I want to do is make something more cumbersome, right? I don't want to create another system or process. I do think we've had these conversations regarding this, that as a board, we want to be fully aware and be able to champion something, not get a first look at the same time. I'm happy to have the first look at the same time, but it does slow down the process just a little bit, as there is a responsibility on this board to make sure that every curriculum that we adopt, it not only meets the framework, but that it's appropriate for our students in our community. So I want to make sure we have ample time to do that. So just a suggestion, maybe looking at, maybe there's a way that if we know we're going, just like we ask if there's going to be new courses offered or courses that are amended to an extent of that they need the approval of the board, that it comes every January before the board. I could see it being maybe a mimicked or a mirrored process of if you are needing new curriculum or you're planning new curriculum, that would be an appropriate time to have that process run at the same place. So just a thought.
Yeah. And I'm getting older, so my memory is going a little bit, but it's
so-
been 20 years since I've been at Rocklin High School. I think this course has been around AP. I know at least for 17 years, because that's how old the book is, but I do believe AP's been offered for a number of years. But I understand what you're saying as far as new curriculum. It's totally different, so I understand that.
And trustees, I'll work, what I do here definitely is direction from the board on making sure that the board is aware of any new processes, any new areas that we may be working on curriculum. Because as a school district, learning is our main thing we do. So we are continually in the process of evaluating curriculum, looking at it, thinking if we need to have modifications. It's just kind of a thing we do all the time. So, but I hear the board saying, well, that's great. We want to know in advance areas you're doing that work in so we can be aware of that, of what's occurring in the system. So we'll work to think about, Tracy's head off, what's the best time for us to know, here's where we're at, here's areas we're taking on, so the board's aware of that, and it can just not have any surprise, because our goal is to make sure you have all the information you have in advance. So I'm going to work with staff on when is the time of year we think we might have a strong idea of when that is, so then we can then work to inform the board of that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you.
Now welcome Craig Rouse, Senior Director of Facilities and Operations, to share the Summer 2025 Facilities Maintenance and Operations Project update.
Good evening, Board President Price, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Stock. This is a great time for me to come up and talk about our success over the summer. And tonight I'm going to be talking about an overview of the maintenance projects that we completed, the board-approved capital facilities program projects, some of our summer 2025 routine restricted maintenance projects, our anticipated next round of routine restricted maintenance projects, and then our anticipated capital facilities program projects, around phase 2 of some projects, and then also the board-approved one-time district safety and facility project, which is real exciting as that starts to ramp up. Let's see, there we go. So as Bettina talked about tonight, the collaboration between not only our 3 departments in maintenance and operations, but the collaboration with nutrition services, transportation, technology, is really ramped up this year. And as you see the flow of all these projects that we've done, there's no way we could have accomplished this without the district as a whole working together. So I was pretty excited to get up here and brag about what we've done and talk about it. So the M&O team, maintenance guys, completed over 3,000 work orders. As Bettina talked about earlier, our team, replaced some siding and did the exterior painting, not only at Rocklin High School, but also at Rocklin Elementary School. They were supposed to just do some painting around the admin building, and our team went on ahead and did the multi-purpose room, they did the hallways, they did the corridors, and they did down the multi-purpose room. And when I asked him, why didn't you just concentrate here? And he goes, well, because, we just wanted to improve the look of the school. And that's kind of the feel that we have in our department now. They're stepping up and they're taking ownership. So it's pretty cool to watch that take place. And then at Breen, Sunset Ranch, and Cobblestone and Sierra, through their PTCs, they purchased the back hook material that we used at Quarry Trail. That's our new standard now. We don't have hooks. It's actually a plastic run that goes up because kids were getting hurt from the hooks. And it's a Trex wood that goes on there that will never rot out. So we're able to install those in-house and save the schools some dollars by installing those backpack hooks. And we're starting to do more throughout the district. Talked about the buddy benches that have been installed earlier. Thank you for your report. So that went on this summer. They came in late, and we were able to get them installed right before school started, so that's exciting for the kids. Antelope Creek and Sierra, the library, computer labs, which are no longer in use. We tore out the cabinets that are in there, put new flooring in there, and now it's a more usable space for each campus. And then talked about the siding replacement and exterior painting at Rocklin High School. Some more projects to talk about, the Valley View electronic marquee sign, and also at Rock Creek, we did that with in-house staff. And then some fence repairs at Cobblestone. Green Elementary, we're also able to do some siding replacement and painting with our in-house staff. Some interior sheetrock repair at Rock Creek. And then second year, we've done special ed calming rooms. The request came in late, right before school was out, and we're able to get those built for campuses, and they're really starting to help the special ed program. So glad we're able to help them out and do that. And then the Rocklin High School marquee sign and some storm drain repair. We basically did that in-house. We were chasing that clogged pipe for years, and they finally found it, which is awesome, down in the parking lot in the staff parking lot. Here's some photos. You know, we talked about this last year. You guys wanted to see some more photos, so I threw these in here. You can see here the guys carrying the walls for the Rocklin Elementary calming room. And then over at Sierra Elementary, they're working on the floor. They demoed the cabinets. Here's a storm drain repair, guys in action, and then the marquee sign at Rocklin High School. And Antelope Creek, not only did they repair the main line, water line busted right there out in front of the school. The other photo here is where they're taking the tree down for the ARC trailer, which is really neat to see set up for the kids. And then this photo here for Valley View, you can see the team all working together to make sure we can install that in-house without having to pay a contractor to install it. The coordination to drive it from the shop over to the school without it falling over. And then together they work together to go ahead and install it. And then this other photo is the in progress when they were painting the annex portables over at Rocklin High School. Now all those classrooms are the off-white and blue, no more maroon. So on the board-approved 2025 capital facilities program projects, phase 1 was completed over the summer, and that's where we did one school over the spring break, and that was Brain. And then the other 4 schools we completed over the summer, and that included 2 of the middle schools. And it was as tight of a schedule as we anticipated. We had some curbs came out where the units sit on that came out flopped, and so Springview, unfortunately, when the staff came back, the air wasn't blowing, and parts of the admin, for a couple of days, and then we got the right curbs, turned the units around, and then all 154 units had air blowing before school started, and that was the goal. And great effort from the contractor and our team to coordinate to make that happen, and also the site staffs as they came back, because we still had to bring cranes on, and they were having all the kids come back to school, so we wouldn't have made that happen without their help. And also, I want to give a shout out to Principal Mackus over at Rocklin Elementary, the TK growth projects that we did. We started, if you remember, back in April. By her allowing us to come in April, May of last year to start this project before summer started, we wouldn't have had this completed. And her staff did a phenomenal job, and the way that they organized the drop-off and pickup at Rocklin Elementary, without losing the whole CDG parking lot, it's still very busy and congested. And we shut down that whole parking lot because that was our laydown yard to complete this project. And they did a phenomenal job of directing the parents, getting the notifications out, and telling them this is the time, this is where you're going to drop off the kids, and it was really smooth. So hats off to them. We had some energy management system upgrades. That's our Pelican thermostats. So the goal is over the next couple of years, actually by next summer, district-wide we'll have one thermostat throughout the whole district. And before we started this project, we had 3 separate systems, and very difficult to maintain. They were outdated, out of life cycle. So, our guy Chris Barnett, who controls our EMS systems, can do that right from his computer instead of having to bring a third party in, a contractor, to do that work. LED lighting installation. We did these at multiple schools throughout the summer. we're doing the classrooms in-house. As a light bulb goes out and a work order comes in, our team will go out in the morning and just complete the whole classroom with these light bulbs instead of just replacing one bulb at a time. And so over the next couple of years, we anticipate having all the classrooms completed. The exterior work, which takes scissor lifts and boom lifts to do, and it's high voltage, and our guys don't work on high voltage. We have contractors do that work. So over at Whitney High School, if you recall at night, it was pretty dim. We had quite a few lights out, and so now that place is lit up now with the LED lights, and that's ongoing, part of the board-approved $58 million, so thank you for that. We're really starting to see the impact there. So a couple photos here on the facility program projects. This is on the TK portable here. So we basically reconfigured that whole playground area. We took out a couple of trees on this photo on the left, and that's where the new portables are. And then the photo on the right, that's our new district standard for K through, actually the K through 3, the small playground shade structures. So DSA now allows you to put shade over playground equipment without having to go through DSA, which is huge cost savings for districts to start doing this. So as these one-time projects come up, and if the PTCs and the community and the principals come back and say, we want new playground equipment, that's our standard now going forward. And then here's just a photo of some HVAC units. This is a cool one. They're flying them over the buildings first thing in the morning. And then just wanted to show a couple of the Whitney High School LED lighting replacement. Like I said, if those old halogen lights around a campus like that with that paint, it just really made it dull, and the LED lights just really brighten it up. So we had some collaboration projects going on, and that's a combination of PTC, booster clubs, volunteer work, and coordinating that. So wanted to show here on the left is that the Whitney High School pool scoreboard got replaced, and that was great with coordination with Brett Hunter and getting all those folks involved and the kids involved. And so that's done. That came in just at the end of the summer, and they were able to knock it out. So it's good news. And then another picture of the Valley View sign, and then the Rocklin High School sand volleyball court. That was a project that went down to the wire, but got completed right before school started. And so I'm looking forward to see when the season starts how they utilize that court. Also over at Rocklin High School, the large gym. This was a district-funded ASB project, and they replaced a new scoreboard and a digital board in the large gym. The nutrition services projects that we worked with Director Douglas on. Here's a photo of just what he designed this with the contractor, and I ran this for him this summer and kind of oversaw it, but it really came out nice. And when you walk in there, it just pops, so it was really good thinking on his part to push that through and get that done before school started. So these next few slides, what I wanted to do is just kind of show you the volume of what we did on routine restricted maintenance projects. I'm not going to read all of them. What I wanted to do is just get down to this last slide and just basically show that over the year, we spent $1.8 million on routine restricted maintenance. That's just one pot of money that is contractor-based routine restricted maintenance projects. That's not our in-house staff. That's not capital facilities fund. It's a different pot of money. But we really got a lot done this year. The construction manager that you guys allowed us to come on really branched out, and we really increased our production this summer. So thank you for that. A couple more pictures here of some routine restricted maintenance projects. As Derek, as you were saying earlier, the Sunset Ranch exterior painting came out great. Lori, Principal Kircher, did a great job picking out the colors. Very stressful time for her, but she did a great job. And we really worked with her, and the colors came out good. We also were able to do the slurry seal and also do the multi-purpose room flooring. That was an original floor that had failed because the divots in the floor were starting to come up and causing a tripping hazard. So we went on ahead and did a different type of flooring material to put down there, and it really came out nice. Other schools, we were able to do the stucco repair and exterior painting at Springview Middle School. Great facelift to that site. It really made it pop. We did the brick and mortar over the summer, painted it. The portable portable projects, we did not paint those yet at this time. We're currently, right now, we have some staff working on replacing the damaged siding and trim. We're priming it. That'll take them a few months. And next summer, we'll go ahead and put a bid package out to paint those portables. It's too big of a project for us to do in-house, but it's significant savings by doing the siding replacement in-house. So that's ongoing right now. And then I wanted to show on here that we got that beautiful fence at Rocklin High School painted out in front of the back of the cafeteria and down Thunder Alley, yeah. And then we did a roof repair at Breen Elementary admin roof. This thing's been leaking for years off and on, and we finally figured out the why and had a contractor come out, and we had to build that roof up. We had a beam that was too high and the water was puddling, and so we're able to get that done. So moving forward, looking to next year's anticipated projects. We've been on a roll not a roll, but just kind of our plan for the last 5 years is to continually crack seal, fill every crack on the blacktops. It didn't happen for years and kind of got away from us. So now we're starting to filling up the cracks. And so that happens on all the blacktops every year. And then we're looking at doing not only the crack fill, but slurry seal and striping at Rucola, Parker Whitney, and Rocklin High School. We rotate the high schools based on summer school. And then anticipating doing the Rocklin High School art classrooms 1 through 15 interior painting project. We didn't take that on this year. We wanted to paint the exterior and then look at doing the interior next summer with our in-house staff. And then looking at exterior painting, Parker Whitney, Cobblestone, and Twin Oaks. Also, Whitney High School Stadium synthetic turf replacement, that project is currently at DSA. And once that comes out of DSA, probably November, December, that project will go out to bid, and that'll take place this summer. And then also at the same time, the LED lighting replacement for the stadium, like we did at Rocklin High School a few years back, that's also currently at DSA. That should come out about the same time. That project has already been bid. We brought that contract forward. So as soon as for approval, so as soon as that comes out of DSA, we'll coordinate with the campus. We're going to need about 10 to 12 days of time to get out there based on weather and wind to go out there and replace all those lights, and hopefully we can do it during the school year. If not, we'll do it at the same time when we do the field. And then, you talk about our infrastructure, pretty old throughout the district. We continually have irrigation line breaks, gas line leaks, so that's ongoing. And same thing with sidewalk concrete replacement. If we can't grind it, we pop it and pour new concrete in these areas. Looking at, flooring replacement, we get a list every year. I ask the league custodians, give me your worst floors, and we go out there and we determine how much money do we have left, what's the worst, safety first, and we do some flooring replacement. We're working on right now communication upgrades at Cobblestone, Sierra, Valley View, Rock Creek, Springview Middle School, and Whitney High School. And then for our anticipated capital facilities program, 2026 projects. So as we've been talking about the Twin Oaks project, that's going to be moving into dropping the temporary portables, probably April, May, probably March, April. And we'll be working with the staff out there on this is what's coming, this is how we're going to pack you up. We're going to move you into the temporary portables. These portables are going to be demoed, and by Christmas of the following school year, we'll be able to move you back. That'll give us enough time to get that project completed. And I heard from architects across the state that purchase of portables buildings is going to increase anywhere from 20 to 25% over the next couple of years. So worked with our design team, our architect, and we're moving up the purchase of the Antelope Creek project that's supposed to go in 2027. So he's currently working on designing that project so that we can get a bid package together to bring to the board for approval to purchase those portables. So hopefully we can capture those savings. And working with the manufacturers, portable manufacturers, they said that they'll hold the bid and line us up for 2 years down the road. So it's part of that network. We're starting to see spike increases coming, and where we can be proactive and buy material and equipment ahead of time. Continue with that on the facilities program. Phase 2 of the HVAC replacement, we brought that contract to June for board approval. The units are already starting to arrive in their yard. Curbs are coming in, so we're going to try and get one school done prior to summer like we did last year, and then complete the rest of the projects during the summer. And those schools are Sierra Elementary, Valley View, Victory High School, Parker Whitney, Rocklin Elementary, the CDG building, and then the Rocklin High School gym, the large units that feed the gym, the train units that are on the ground. Ongoing LED lighting replacement, and then as I talked about earlier, the EMS systems to upgrading to Pelican. We're hoping to have all that completed by next summer, because you can't install new HVAC units without the new thermostat. So that has to go prior to, before the units get dropped. So this is exciting. The district approved, board approved one-time district safety and facility projects. Jennifer talked to staff at the DLT meeting and kind of walked through the process. And this is just kind of a highlight of what we're asking the principals to do. Each site is responsible for identifying its final projects. The process must include meaningful engagement with educational partners. Proposed projects will be submitted by using the project approval form that's coming out of Jennifer's department, and Mario is going to help us, and then sent to facilities for review and consultation. And that's, what type of project is this? How much it's going to cost? Is it doable? That whole process that we do for any project that comes into facilities. And then the final review and approval will be through the business department. The effort will be made to complete the projects over the calendar years at 2026 and 27, but more broadly, looking at probably through 2028, based on projects coming in, what type of project, can we bid it, can we package it up, or is there delays in materials? So there's a lot of unknowns out there. And then, bring updates back to the board. And then, as I just talked about, possible impact due to supply chain delays. We just don't know what's coming. We're already starting to see delays on electronic equipment. Hearing that the portable buildings are getting more expensive. I'm hearing the lumber might jump up. We just don't know where it's at. So we're trying to be as proactive as possible, but cost escalation is a real thing, and we're trying to be proactive on that and watch our dollars. So our next steps. So we're continue working on the punch list items from this past summer, and then getting our DSA closeout on our portable project. We're actually doing real well. We're almost done, and it's September. Usually it takes till October, November. So our construction manager is doing really well getting these projects to that point. And then refine the list of anticipated projects for the routine restricted maintenance end of it. And as a year goes on, as things come up, lines break, other emergencies come out in the district, that list that I gave earlier will change, and it'll go through Jennifer and Roger for their approval, and we'll make adjustment to that list as the year goes on. We'd like to really lock down our larger projects by January, bring it to the board for approval, our larger routine restricted maintenance projects, because the further you wait into the spring, the higher the number goes, because these contractors start locking in their numbers for summer work. And if you're coming out in April, May, you're going to see a spike in their bids that come in. Let's see, and then update the board on the future one-time district facility projects and safety projects, and also the capital projects. So long-winded, I apologize, but it's great for me to get up here and talk about this, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Amazing. Thank you so much for this and for all of the work. I had a question about, when we talked about our one-time district safety and facility projects, did we specify a time that we wanted, or how often we wanted to be updated? Do you remember?
We didn't, but our notion was that we would bring you back this fall. Hey, here's what we heard from the sites. Here's the types of projects. Here's where we're at. And then the kind of assumption was we'd follow the similar pattern of we kind of do a fall, spring update to the board on facilities work. We thought we would include the update on these projects like we have the capital facilities program. So that was the intent. If the board wants a more frequent update, we're happy to provide it.
I'm fine with twice a year. Thank you for that. Jennifer, when you talked to the DLT, did you also mention, or is it part of that form where they are invited and encouraged to also reach out to community partners? It's like, okay, we're going to work on this. And did you guys talk about that?
We did talk about engagement with stakeholders, and there is a requirement to fill that out in the form. So when we created the approval form, we created a section where they have to describe the engagement, who it was with, where it was held, and the dates.
Awesome. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you, Craig. It was great to see all the pictures. That is my favorite part. Yeah. Yeah, you did a really good job putting that together. And of course, give your teams a big high five from all of us for all that they did. So much work went into it, yes. And everything's looking so good.
Yeah, 154 HVAC units. I know the board set that as a priority for you, and I think I remember that night your eyes got quite large. But you know, it's incredibly important that we have safe learning spaces for our students and working environments for our staff. And so I appreciate you making that a priority and getting to work right on that. And 154, that is no easy task. So I appreciate the hard work of your team. I know it was mentioned on here, and I just have to echo it again. I know that sometimes we do have constraints that make our projects, you know, take 1, 2, 3 years to try to complete. I know we've had this conversation, but I do really want to see us really prioritize, especially the safety dollars that we've allocated. It's really important and critical to me that we really prioritize getting those dollars out and used. One of the hardest things as a board member is when you approve something to sit and wait and wait and wait for it to be implemented. I know many times that's not by our own doing, and it's constraints that we can't control. But I just think it's vitally important that we respond to these safety assessments that we had. We invested the money to have the assessments on our campuses. I appreciate our board for allocating the funds. And so I believe, did I hear a January update on the allocation of those?
No, actually, we plan to do an update this fall. So board approved them in May. Our cabinet teams have been working hard, but we want to make sure we follow an input process. So Mr. Flowers, Mr. Rouse, and Mr. Johnson have been working to, you know, what are the different needs from training to facility to even technology related to safety. We've been gathering all that information, and then we're going to have dialogue with our safety committee, which I think you and Trustee Price sit on, to make sure we have input from stakeholders, parents, and others related to here's the thinking we're having on that once we get some additional input from them, and also our law enforcement partners as well. We want to hear what they think. Then once we have that input level there from that committee, then we'll come back to the board and say this fall and say, here's what we're thinking based on the safety assessments, based on this, you know, working with our committee and our local law enforcement partners, what we're recommending spending $1.5 million on, and then prior to us executing on those contracts. So we want to have a full input process with the different perspectives in the district, and then bring those this fall to the board, and then begin working on it. So we are working as quick. We just didn't have the opportunity to gather with people this summer, a lot of our staff and parents. So we just got our parents on the safety committee selected. So we're working to try to meet with them, I think, some point October, and then bring that back into the board October, November.
And I appreciate, right, that work of, you know, is really important to the board, that we make sure that sites are able to really look at, hey, here, based off of these assessments, here's what we need for our site, not only the safety dollars, but the facility dollars. I just know over-analysis can cause a lot of paralysis at times. And so I appreciate that. October sounds great, and I look forward to hearing what we can implement sooner rather than later. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will, just from what I hear, 154 HVAC units is great. Lucas says all his friends are wearing long sleeve shirts now, so great job.
Thank you, Greg. We'll now open agenda item 11.1, public comment. We want to remind everyone that this agenda item is to give anyone in attendance an opportunity to address the board on non-agenda items within the jurisdiction of the school district. The board is not permitted to deliberate or take action on non-agenda items, but may refer the matter to a staff member for follow-up. When you approach the podium, please restate your name, the city you live, and the school that your children attend. You'll have 2 minutes to address the board. All comments must be respectful. Please, no profanity. We invite Rebecca Honey forward to address the board for public comment on a non-agenda item.
Rebecca, I just have to say thank you for putting the pronunciation on the card. That is a difficult thing to try and pronounce everyone's name.
Yes, it's a tricky one. Superintendent Stock and the trustees, thank you so much for all that you do for our community, for our schools, for our children. It is such an honor to be a resident of Rocklin. My name is Rebecca Honey. I have a 6th grader at Rock Creek. My son just graduated from Whitney High School, and now I have a junior student at Rocklin High School. So we are plugged in and loving it. My son Zion played on the varsity football team at Whitney High School last year as a sophomore, and then in January he decided to transfer to Rocklin High School for the photography program, probably to follow in his parents' footsteps because we're photographers. Zion decided to then join the football team at Rocklin, and in accordance with the CIF transfer rules, he agreed to move down to JV so that he would avoid the sit-out period. On August 22nd, the date of his first game, we were told that he was, quote, under review by the CIF and was not eligible to play because a group of students from Whitney had also transferred. The CIF has 20 business days to make their decision, and we hope to receive that by September 10th. At best, Zion's eligibility will be approved and he will only have missed 3 football games. But at worst, his eligibility will be denied and we will enter an appeal process with the CIF, which could cost him his junior year football season. It is important to note that only the students who transferred from Whitney High School to Rocklin High School are under review by the CIF. Student athletes from other schools are eligible to play football immediately. I am requesting that RUSD to advocate to the CIF, specifically Mr. Mike Garrison, on behalf of Zion and the students who transferred from Whitney, so that their eligibility is granted as soon as possible. And I'll close with this. My son is sad that he can't play, and it's confusing because he hasn't done anything wrong or have ill intentions.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll have Mr. Flowers speak with you after the meeting. Thank you for coming. Okay, our board bylaws require 2 trustees to place an item on the agenda. Trustees, do you have any items to discuss for consideration on the pending agenda? Okay, seeing none, our meeting is now adjourned to closed session.